Let's see how long I can get through this all in one sitting. Highly doubt it. But I guess I can explain who the stickers are in the front in a moment. That's contact information. That's from my wallet. Almost exactly 5 months in this thing. And I actually used it for... I used Artfight as an excuse to finish it, which was exponentially fun. I do enjoy Artfight, and I plan to participate next year, but I need to update some character profiles and all. This was just a bunch of random things that I collected. Got a bunch of stuff from Jaden Animations, like the Ari sketchbook and stuff. On Etsy, Spicy Mochi, they make a lot of things. My binders. We're emo in this household. You got the beginning, where but I tried. But I was also going right off of a kind of art block, but also just being bored. But I wanted to try it, and I like the result to some degree, because I wanted to do it all in watercolor. And then Sally Face. It's a fun game. But this was the hyperfixation that y'all might remember from previous one. But you'll also know the other obsession that I had. Not Michael. This is a predecessor for Things to Come. I still find it funny how Hyde was the first one that I tried to draw. I don't have a problem, or at least not yet. Not visibly. And then MC. I need to draw all the characters in this story more often. But as you can tell, I think you'll notice which one's my favorite character. I try not to make it obvious, but this is actually a fun thing. I wanted to revamp Guinevere's story. Almost nobody knows who that is unless you follow my old Instagram. But good for you. Guinevere themselves is on my Artfight and all. Oh. Anyway. But yeah, Guinevere's story's getting a whole revamp entirely. And I have an animatic sketched out in a physical sketchbook. And if you can read my handwriting, or even that in general, don't try to, because I just write out what the inspiration is meant to be, because that's easier than sometimes doing the story itself. The obsession sort of started, but this is also me getting used to such a large-sized sketchbook. These I do kind of want to do again, but not at the same time. I haven't said anything. Well, it's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I don't know what you wanted, so. This was the... I probably should have edited the thing and then uploaded this when the video was posted. Or at least a little bit after. But then I didn't. Oh well. I was rewatching Mark playing Franbo. And I need to practice drawing children in general. Because on the looks of this, you want to be able to really tell that it's a 10-year-old. And I related to Franbo. Not a whole lot, but more than I anticipated. So that was fun. Oh, would you look at that? More Jekyll and Hyde. This was something that I'm actually kind of proud of. I tried to only use green for this, for Hyde, and then only use red for Jekyll. And then this was that Dean and Sam from Supernatural combined with Barbie and Ken. Funny to me, at least, so. Oh, more Jekyll. This was not in May, but listen, it's not an obsession. This is Hyde. It's not an obsession. Again, just because I listen to the musical ad nauseum doesn't mean anything. Okay? A lot of people kind of liked this design of Hyde, and I do too. Oh. Well, I found Epic the Musical because my brother. Yeah. I want to do this in a more finished thing, and I attempted to, but given that I drew this on the previous page, I didn't want to use markers, but leaving it as a pencil sketch was perfectly fine by me, because then I did this little doodle, and I loved it even more. Like, if anything, I want to do this in a more finished thing of just, for Epic, the song is Suffering, where it's just a siren trying to convince Odysseus to get in the water. But I did it with Mark and Amy because I thought that would be funny. You can take this idea if you'd like, because Mark actually does hate the ocean. Because I'm surprised more people didn't think that it would be funny. But I feel like Epic is getting the same treatment of Hamilton, of everyone is like taking a song and applying it to like their own characters or story and all. And I honestly really like that. Oh. Believe it or not, these are me. I don't know if I've ever really said it personally. Transmasculine, but I am gender fluid. Because quite honestly, I'd rather you not refer to me at all. Like, let's be honest. I don't want people referring to me. But if you do, usually it's like they, them, or he, him. Or us, our, / we. Because I'm used to being a part of multiple people, in a group of people. So that has almost nothing to do with this stuff. I just really like strawberries. Because strawberries taste good. These are mostly just lazy sketches. I was fighting art block if you couldn't tell. Not gonna talk about it. This is actually fun. I want to make this into a finished piece, because this is just the Glass Scientist Jekyll. And I am super excited for how it's coming along. And I love it. I love Paul. He's not in it, but if you read it on the web, if you read the webcomic on the official website, Paul is very brave. Paul is very brave. Oh, I wanted to do that, a remembrance of like the 100 Heads challenge, but also not at the same time. Just practice drawing people with realistic faces, and then I failed. If you couldn't tell, it's baby, no money. I just can't draw realistic, but I mean, I like how some of these turned out. This was just a scrap page. It looks pretty, but I meant to continue this on of like making paper doodles and then like gluing it in. I think you can guess what my eventual decision was. This is actually very fun, because I did this on just with barely a background in mind. But let me tell you, it was very fun. This is, I believe, Ghost and Spirit. And I just wanted to do, they're not, I would call them OCs, but I just like drawing them. They're cool. They're just people who dress up as ghosts. It's halfway spread. And I will say this 100%. This is kind of a little bit based off of Mr. Scott Sabo's book cover idea. That was the entire inspiration for this. And I plan to buy his book when it comes out, because I really like him as a creator and he's a pretty nice man. And then immediately after, we got that gay shit. Not the happiest with my personal designs of Nick and Jay. Also, this is The Great Gatsby. Everyone back when I was in high school agreed that, yeah, they were pretty. You can't. I have words to say, my mouth doesn't want to say them. But yeah, I just really like doodling them. One of my favorite fandoms to be in, I guess, for a lack of a better word. Oh yeah, you know how I said I wanted to draw more of MC and their gang? This is kind of that. Still need to draw them more. Still need to draw them more because I basically have like a rough outline of their story. I just need to actually write it, because MC, I feel like I've said this before, that MC is literally just their name. Nothing special about it. Because it was meant to be a placeholder. It literally meant main character. There's a non-story relevant fact, I guess, about it. But I just wanted a random group of friends that just were weird. But also a mild thing that might come up later, but Axel, Angie, and Levi. And I believe on like next few pages. But they get along. But I do need to draw them more. That's the main thing. Drawing Hamilton. But that's that I just remembered the next page. But Hamilton was making more of a comeback because it's like 10-year anniversary of it, and everyone was just reminiscing on it. And can't blame them. Hamilton, if you couldn't tell, is how I kind of got my art style. And then back to the glass sciences. Listen, it's not a problem. Clearly. It's not a problem. It's a normal obsession. And it's not a problem. See how not a problem it is? This is my interpretation of Jekyll from the musical. And this is the Mazem. Or the M-A-Z-M. I pronounce it Mazem because in this household we randomly pronounce the acronyms. Because we can. I think the doodle under this was I was going to try and do a 2-page spread of just the musical. Then I was like, I'm too tired for that. And then I obviously had to do the same thing for Hyde. But also, at least one or two of these two I believe were from the webcomic itself. All of these were from the webcomic. This was my personal imagination. This was my imagination. These 4 were from the comic. And what I had fun. Obviously. Anyway, here's MC and their friends again. and right here, MC is slightly scared of spiders. And I want that to be a running joke. And they're still scared of them by the end, but like when they first met Axel, they couldn't handle being around him almost at all. And I find that the funniest thing. And this was just a mini doodle that I wanted to practice. Like, I want to practice a lot of things, and I need to, but this was just me doodling, and it's just like them playing Guitar Hero, because I was reminiscing on how we had the entire set to Guitar Hero for our old Xbox. We had the drum set, like 2 pairs of drumsticks, the bass, the guitar, and at least 2, maybe 3 microphones, and we would just go ham. And it was really fun. Sometimes I wish I could go back to those days, but I understand why we can't, and I'm A-okay with that. Oh, more Great Gatsby. Not the best thing in the world, but I do really like this. This one was entirely on accident. Their roles were meant to be reversed, but then I was like, that's actually kind of cuter. Oh, would you look at that? More of them. Angie and MC are friends at the beginning of the story, and then they like meet Levi and Axel throughout over time. And then they just like become friends. I don't want it to be like a coming of age story, but I want it to be like, but I don't know. It's hard. Ooh, Guinevere. I do like sketching out their story because it is meant to be a little bit based off the Odyssey. Thank you, Epic. But also a tiny bit of Moana and like all sorts of things, but also combined with a little bit of Moana of like Mulan. And I feel like I shouldn't say it too much, but like some of it is being figured out. I'm not gonna say anything about that. This is apparently Artfight's favorite person, but also a little bit of Tumblr, and I understand why Tumblr. But it's Prince. He's just a dick. He's emotional. And an idiot. Oh, more MC in the game. I like drawing them, but progress on making their story is almost non-existent, because I want to add in a bunch of things, but also take out a bunch of things all at the same time. I really like the concept of their story, but like the main things about it, like the goals, the expectations that I personally have for it, realistic expectations that should be in the story, like the goals and stakes and stuff. I like their story, and I want to finish it. I just don't know if I have the willpower. So, there's that. Oh, Kane! Because of course I did. The Amazing Digital Circus. This is just here because I love Kane. He's a wonderful character. I didn't originally intend to do this with markers, but then I was like, who cares? I was already working on this, and I wasn't liking how it turned out. I was like, screw it, who cares? Because this was also the page right before Artfight. Not gonna turn, wait. I was Team Fossils this year. I didn't think I was gonna turn it. But anyway. I tried planning out some attacks and I was like, that's dumb. I didn't feel motivated to do those. So I gave up on thumbnailing those. But just like last year, I had the first one. This was accidentally a spectator. Of course the first one I did had to be My Little Pony. I did that last year, and I love My Little Pony. This one was a design your own character, and I personally really like how these colors came out, but I like this outfit, and I hope the person that I drew it for really enjoys it. This one is actually the most fun, like unironically, and I was actually surprised of how well-ish. I will admit, it's not the best, but textured hair is always a little bit hard for me personally, but I enjoy how this turned out. It's a little flat, but I enjoy it, and this scene OC was actually really fun. Of course, I did a lot of My Little Ponies if I wanted to do an attack, but I couldn't think of what to do. I taped in a lot of pieces of paper because I did way more attacks than I thought I would. The thumbnail image for this on Artfight was made as a joke. This character, Felix, he's a beautiful man. That's all I'm gonna say for now. I'm not gonna turn them right side up. You saw my Artfight. You can look at these pictures yourself. I cannot guarantee that if you ask me to attack you that I will attack you next year. I cannot guarantee that. It is just if I am motivated, because a lot of these attacks were not the characters that I thought I would be doing. They just happened, because like this thumbnail right here, I wanted to do 3 characters for one person, because it was like a fruit trio. And then obviously I did not end up doing that. This one is actually really nice. I love this character. But like, again, I wanted to do other characters, and like this one right here, wasn't planning on doing it at all. I ended up doing way more furry or cats or whatever than I thought I would. And it also gave me an excuse to practice all sorts of mediums, because this one was done with acrylic pens. This one was a little bit of gouache and acrylic paint, mostly markers, colored pencil. I started off with like sketches and stuff. This one was also light loop colored pencils, water-based markers, and all sorts of stuff. Oh, obviously somebody had Victor Frankenstein on their Artfight, because obviously, so you know I had for a fact to draw them, because we love desperate men in this household. And this paper's just here because, not because I was gonna do an Artfight on top of it, but because it's color pencil. This one was very nice because I thought I was gonna take a break and I saw this character and I was like, well, I can't not, because this is also color pencils. But I wasn't expecting it to do colored pencils. I was gonna leave it just lines. This one was a Dandy's World OC, and I was fighting an art block, which is why I do apologize that this looks a little lazy. But again, I was fighting an art block, but I wanted to give them at least one attack. This character was for somebody, and if you notice, there's 2 other attempts underneath this sheet of paper, so this paper's kind of thick. And that's what I mean. I tried drawing 2 other characters, couldn't, gave up a little bit, drew a different character from the same person because I was like, I'm already committed. This one was very nice, and definitely I put the most time in out of all the other attacks. This one, I was working whenever I got overwhelmed with this one, so I worked on this one. And I really like this character. A pose that I didn't really map out while I was drawing it, but I mean, I did it. This one, I wanted it to be different and better, but I'm proud with the fact that I at least tried. Ignore that. That was meant to be a different attack. This one was actually the last one I did, and this was the second to last one, because I wanted to again finish the sketchbook with Artfights. And these 2 were the last 2 I did after taking a bit of a break, and I really like them. And then was also going to be an Artfight that I did, and underneath this piece of paper was other thumbnails for attacks that I meant to do and then didn't. But Little Shop of Horrors, don't know if I said that in the beginning, probably not. And then the end. And then Doodled Hide. Ignore that. But again, don't feed the plants. But hello there. But yeah, some of these stickers are from Spicy Mochi. Some of them were from Glitch Productions. Some old stickers from old Etsy shops. Some Statical sticker packs from just online. Ziku. And another, just a bunch of stickers in general. Yee. We did it. And as you'd like to know, this is the next one. And obviously smaller. You wanna know something funny? I was just standing in the store, and the main reason this has a push thingy on it is because I was like, I had a weird revelation in the middle of Walmart, and yes, I know Walmart's not the best place, but sometimes it's the only place you can go sometimes. Because we were buying, like, essential groceries and stuff. And, I had a weird revelation and personal dilemma of, like, do you have to put these on a door? So I bought it, and then I didn't put it on a door, in case you couldn't tell. So, like, this one I feel like is applicable. I'm not a robot, because fuck AI. And again, just some random stickers. Because this is applicable for a lot of things. And this is from when Cloak did the Five Nights at Freddy's collab last year. I bought the jersey. Also bought other Cloak merch. But yeah. This was a Comic-Con thing that I got when I was actually getting a tattoo. That was a spur of the whim thing to do with my sister. Quite honestly, best reason I had to stay up at 3 in the morning and still having to go to work the next day, I think. So I can show you one of my favorite pages right now. This wasn't centered at all. Can you tell I wasn't looking at the camera? The obsession has not died. Ignore that voice crack. The previous sketchbook that I had was the Leuchtturm. The sketchbook I used for it, not the best for watercolors, but I mean, I used watercolors on loose leaf paper, so I'm not one to judge the quality of paper all the time. And like, look at how thick this got. Mostly from the art fight, you can tell where it kind of was, aside from the 2 bookmark things. But look at how thick it got. So the size difference was a fun thing to experience. Because this, apologies, is the Elu watercolor sketchbook. I'm almost halfway done. Hopefully this one won't take me 5 months, and hopefully it won't take me forever to get to filming it. But we'll have to see. Also, these are old monster tabs. Let's see how long it takes for me to edit this. I'll make fun of me if it takes me too long to edit this, because again, I'm doing it all on my phone because I'm not fancy. Don't expect a next one, because quite honestly, again, I keep on forgetting to film anything. Later, nerds.